going on, everybody?
We're back at the studio this week for the Craft Beer Cult, and this week we're doing Rockingham Brewing out of Derry, New Hampshire.
It's not a bad brewery. I haven't been to the location, but I've had a number of their beers.
We have had a number of their beers, and we actually had a couple of their beers on Beer Battles in the past.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they've been on this channel in some form or another before.
And they're pretty close by for us too, so figured today we'd give this guy a shot. Or these guys.
I texted you this morning. I said, "What are we doing?" You said, "I'm going to go figure it out." You drove around a little bit and found these.
But this week we have Curly's Gold, which is an American wheat ale. Then we have the Rockingham Ale, which is a hoppy red ale. And then we have the Javelina,
I believe it is. I could be wrong.
This is an Indian Pale Ale. It's an East Coast style IPA. So we're going to give these a shot. And
3 ales, all of a different variety.
All different varieties, slightly different styles.
Nothing crazy today. I think the highest we're going on alcohol per volume would be the 6.5 on the IPA.
The Javelina.
So we should get out of this one okay.
All right, we'll see what happens.
We'll talk
no
about
promises.
We'll talk about it more at the end.
Yeah. All right, everybody, we're going to jump right into Curly's Gold. It's an American wheat ale. It's an American wheat ale weighing in at 5.1% alcohol.
Weighing in? You're giving the beer battle introductions.
Yeah, well, no real strong aroma on that one. Slightly bready.
Oh yeah, it has that bready ale flavor to it, but I don't hate that in the beer. I feel like you don't like it as much as I do.
I'm not crazy about this one. I'll say that right off the bat.
You know
it tastes very much like a Berliner Weiss.
I can see that. I can see the Berliner Weiss kick into the flavor. The thing I think I would say about this beer more than anything else is it's kind of it might be a good beer to bring craft, like normal beer drinkers who are hesitant to come to the IPA side or the craft beer side. This kind of seems like a good transition beer to me.
I can see that. What do you give it for a rating there, Joe?
For a rating, you never go too high on the ales, so I think I'm going to go 6.5.
I'm not going to sugarcoat this one at all. I'm going to go a 4.75 on this one.
Well, it's not your beer.
It definitely is
definitely not your type of beer.
But I've also had I drank a lot of this lighter stuff this summer.
But I knew as soon as you said it had that bready flavor to it, I knew I was going to like it more than you were.
It is a beer. It's clean. It's well done. But a 4.5 for me.
There's nothing wrong with it. It gets a 6.5 for me because I would definitely drink it.
So
again.
we'll pretty much split it at a 5.5. So a 5.5 for Curly's Gold. All right, everybody. Now we're on to the Rockingham Ale. It's a hoppy red ale.
I don't think you said that right. You want to try that one again?
Hoppy red ale.
Hoppy red ale. All right.
Yeah, I think I said it right.
You added a few other R's in the middle there.
Maybe.
Rockingham.
All right.
But we're here and we're trying it, and that's what's important.
It's a 5.5% alcohol. Ooh,
that's caramelly. There's a lot of malts in there.
Some sweet, almost floral, too. Wow. Rich.
The malts are strong with this one.
It's very sweet, actually.
It does have that sweet malty flavor.
Almost molasses kind of taste.
I've never actually drank molasses, so I guess, I'll take your word for it.
It doesn't quite have the same thickness as molasses, but it's definitely got that amber color. I can drink this.
I probably won't. It sounds like there's somebody here that doesn't like it more than I do, but yeah. I definitely don't hate this beer.
No, I could drink this a lot. I mean, I do like a little heavier.
I think through the course of this, I'm starting to discover I don't really like malts. Because I've never been a fan of the big West Coast.
They definitely, with the red ales, they definitely tip the scale.
Yeah, the malt is definitely heavy in the red ales, and I even said that I think previously that I knew going forward I was going to like the golden ale more than the red ale, but it definitely came to fruition. Yeah. I didn't count it out before I drank it.
What do you think for a rating there, Joe?
For a rating, I'm not going to
get too off track.
I'm not going to knock it, but I'm going to go with 6 even on this.
6 even? Actually,
sounds about right.
I'm going to go with 6 3/4 on this one. I like that.
Just to be different?
Yeah.
All right. I respect it.
And you say what? 6 even?
6 even.
6 even?
6 even.
All right, so we got 6.33 something in there.
Math is really
my
botched
math
on
is
this show.
my math is terrible.
My God. Scott Steiner math, for those who get it.
So we got a 6.33 on the Rockingham Hoppy Red Ale.
I'll take it. I don't think I would go back for this one, but it's nothing against the beer and more against the malty hops.
I like this with like something with dinner. This would make a good pairing with like a steak or.
It's a fair way to put
it. What you're eating makes a big difference too.
I'm not turning it down if it's offered to me, but I'm not going out of my way to get it. But cheers.
Cheers. We're gonna finish this up and we'll get back to you with the Javelina IPA.
Javelina?
Something like that.
Sure, we'll find out later.
All right, everybody. This is the Javelina.
Javelina. You don't even know.
It's about a Texas boar.
This is not the
That's
first
why
time
I think it's a Javelina. That's why I'm thinking Javelina.
Javelina. All right, I
because
understand.
Texas, Mexico, Spanish.
Tomato.
J in Spanish is pronounced with an H sound.
Yeah, you came at me with an H in the first.
Yes.
But you understand the English and Spanish language a little bit.
Either way, this is the Javelina, from what I understand.
All right, and it's a IPA.
It's an IPA.
All right, let's give it a shot. I love me a good IPA.
It's a West Coast style. Ooh. Damn.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know.
That honestly has a malt flavor to it.
A malt, a bite?
It's definitely got a bite. It's a smooth start. Really smooth start. And then it's just bam.
Bam. I like it. The whole sound effects to it.
Yeah. Bam!
Bam! Yeah, it's like a bam. I like it.
Ooh.
I like the sound effects. I don't know how I feel about the beer.
It's different. It's not
your run-of-the-mill IPA.
It is not your run-of-the-mill IPA. It's definitely harder. And I mean, it's described as a West Coast IPA or West Coast style IPA, which typically tend to be smoother, but this is not smoother at all. I mean, this has a bite, but it's not even. I mean, honestly, this is closer to a red ale. It's closer to this.
Red ale, you think? Yeah.
It's got that malty sweetness to it almost.
All right. Well, I guess I know what I.
But it's got a bite.
I would have rated it even 5.
You know,
it's not bad. I've had worse IPAs, but it's not for me. I
wouldn't classify it as an IPA to me. It's like right on the cusp.
So is this another?
It's a conundrum.
Is it another imposter pale ale?
I don't know if it's an imposter or it's just got overly hopped in this batch. Well,
you know what they say.
Let me rate it. I'm gonna give it a 5.5.
So it's not one of the. I mean,
it's
we've
not
done a
bad
ton of
beer,
IPAs,
but I don't think it's an IPA. Like I'm not getting that IPA.
I can see how it's an IPA. It's not my favorite IPA. I don't think it's a good IPA. No offense to anybody watching that. I think that these are some well-made beers, but this IPA just doesn't do it for me. I'm curious. I will be definitely willing to go back and try another IPA from them.
Well,
but this one isn't it.
We're going to wrap this up. We're going to finish this up, and we'll get back to you with a full wrap-up. But this is a 5.25 for the Javelina IPA. All right, everybody. That was our review of Rockingham Brewing out of Derry, New Hampshire. What'd you think, Joe?
I did say I didn't think that I would end up, drunk by the end of this thing, and I gotta give the beers credit that I might have ended up a little drunk.
Yeah, you think so?
But you know what? They were good beers overall. They were brewed well. I didn't really like the flavor in the red ale because I don't like the malts personally. The IPA I didn't think was an IPA, but I'll say for what a golden ale, which I'm not a huge fan of, it's a pretty basic.
It's an American wheat ale.
American wheat ale, golden style.
And what's funny is I thought this one was more like a Berliner Weiss.
Yes. That was my favorite overall, which was funny because usually the one with the least amount of alcohol, it usually ranks the lowest with me. It's usually the plainest beer, and that was the plainest beer, but I think that's kind of why I liked it.
Honestly, I mean, until you just said that, it didn't dawn on me, but I've said that 2 of these beers I think are mislabeled. Like this one, I don't think. To me, this tastes exactly like a Berliner Weiss, and this does not taste quite like an IPA to me.
It was the West Coast IPA.
I don't think
It
so.
had the malts.
We've had a lot of West Coast IPAs, and
They weren't that.
they weren't that. There's just a lot of malt in that for an IPA.
I agree. It was heavy on the malt.
To me.
Well, that's what the West Coast
But
is.
it's taste.
The West Coast is the maltiness.
I don't think so.
No?
No. I think the West Coast isn't. It's not. It's a lot smoother usually.
I mean, yes,
And you
traditionally.
almost don't taste. You barely taste the hops. It's just enough hops that you taste it, but not.
I feel
There's
like
no real bite.
I feel like I taste the malt more than the hops.
But in this, I definitely taste more malt than hops.
Yeah, exactly. And
I think in an IPA, you should taste more hops.
that's what an IPA traditionally is, the hop dominant beer, and I don't think this is a hop dominant beer. But I will say,
Overall, Eldorado hops is what they use, and they say, and usually that's pretty.
they just
Prominent.
didn't use enough of it.
Apparently, maybe.
Hey guys, a lot of debate going over West Coast and East Coast IPAs. There are two distinct types of IPAs. If you think of the West Coast IPA, you got to think more bitter, more hops. As they brew it with more hops on the East Coast, so they kind of go for more bitter flavor out on the West Coast. Over on the East Coast, it's more of a balanced flavor, if you will. So in a nutshell, that's the difference, guys.
But overall, Joe, what do you give this for a rating? I mean, I've had a lot of their other
So I'm
beers.
going to rate the whole brewery overall, not just on our 3 beers, over what I know.
Based on what you
about
know, too. I mean,
So I'm
you
going to
do-
go ahead and give them an easy 7. You know, they're a contender in the game. They're not a top dog, no offense to them, but they're there and they're making their mark.
Yeah, they definitely are leaving their mark. I mean, they have good quality beer. Like I said, I've had a lot of their beer actually, and I like it. I mean, I like a lot of their beers. Tonight's choices, I think, they actually had a lot of choices in the brewery, more than they actually had listed online. So when I went in, I was a little thrown off from my original plan, so I had to rethink things, and I tried to get some different styles. But I've had a lot of other stuff from them, and I give these guys a 7.5.
So
Overall.
it's like I said, there's nothing wrong with them. They're worth checking out.
No,
If
definitely worth checking out.
you're in the area, you know, you're looking for a brewery, I'd check these guys out. They're making their mark in the area.
I've had a few of their sours that were really good,
Yep, we did the sour and
yep.
the beer battle previously. I think we did the Hog Wild.
and I think they actually won that.
I forget who they went up against, but I don't.
I do too, but
We drink a lot of beers.
we do, and I think they won. But pink is another one. It's a pink lemonade sour, which is really good.
Sounds.
And
like
I'm not a
something
big
I'd like.
sour guy. So these guys are doing a lot of different styles, and like I said, they had a large selection in the case. So give them a check out. See what you think. A 7.25 from the Craft Beer Cult. Overall,
Probably go finish this one.
and cheers. And we're gonna check out for tonight. We'll see you next week. Have a good week, everybody.
Can I keep this?
No.
Oh.
Canned ham, everybody.